Okay. How streamers ruined gaming. Let's
Did
see.
streamers really ruin gaming, or are you just trash? In this video,
I'm trash.
I'm going to talk about gaming before streaming was popular, and gaming after streaming became popular, and by the end of this video, you'll have an answer on if streaming really ruined gaming or not. Now, a few months ago, I was actually scrolling through
Okay.
Twitter, and I saw this tweet right here.
Gaming. When I used to play video games when I was a little kid, I wasn't really as plugged in to the internet as I am now. You know, there's a lot of like social media things going on, like YouTube. Well, just like YouTube in general is like massive. Like Twitch, Facebook, like Twitter just came out with that Twitter live thing. I don't know. Kick's a thing. So there's like a lot of streaming services that are just more prevalent now. And streaming is like slowly becoming a little bit more popular. So things are a little bit more public than they used to be. So I don't know, maybe.
That says dominating blue collar workers in BattleBit. If you don't know what BattleBit is, well, it's basically like Battlefield and Roblox, and this is pretty much the whole clip.
All right.
Yeah, pretty much that guy is just straight up dominating people. Like that's pretty much it. And I saw
Yeah, I mean it's a montage. Was that a clip or
yeah, pretty much that guy is just straight up dominating people.
I mean, if anybody has like a little pop off moment and they're just like they got like what do you call it, that Nvidia reflex thing that records in like the background or whatever, and they just pop off. I mean, yeah, you can easily just like record it and like throw it up on Twitter and it gets a bunch of likes and whatnot. But I would say this type of thing probably happened back in the day as well, but you just didn't see it as much because Twitter wasn't as prevalent as it is today. Social media wasn't as prevalent as it is today. I could easily like FaZe Clan or whatever was doing the same thing way back in the day when the internet was like in its youth years or whatever. So, I mean, I think people were like posting like montage clips and like pop off clips and for decades now. I mean, gaming is what, 30, 40 years old. So, I mean, people were always jump at the chance to try to get a little bit of recognition because they did the cool thing.
Like that's pretty much it. And I saw a quote tweet that said, "Esports ruined casual gaming." Now,
There's a ton of things. I watched a ton of videos with XYZ ruined gaming. Literally everything has ruined gaming.
I know the whole title of this video is like something along the lines of how streamers ruined gaming, but I'm gonna put streamers and esports kind of in the same category. I say that because with streaming, you kind of gotta either be good at a game or funny, and with esports,
Yeah, but if you want to be technical, some streamers like are like have like the papers to that they sign that like I'm a professional for like this team, or I'm a content creator for this like org. So it's like sometimes you'll I mean, this is like a little technicality and a little what do you call it, like nitty gritty, but not every streamer is a professional. They could just be like really good.
you gotta be good at a game. So I'm gonna put them both together.
Yeah, because people want to see other people that are just insanely good. People love watching people that are better than them to see what they could aspire to be like or have something cool to watch. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is like true for like most sports too. I mean, it's not like the category on YouTube of the progress on how to get better at soccer is like so popular. People aren't really watching like the progress. Like, so let's say for example, you got like Steph Curry, awesome shooter, 3 points every day, all day, boom, 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 boom. Nobody really cares about his like come up, like his training, all the hours, all the days, weeks, months, years that he spent just sitting there on the court, just like missing, even, because that's how you get good at something like that. You have to spend a lot of time missing, and then over the course of time, you get better and better. And it wasn't until like some point, some period in time, all of a sudden he does a game, he does a season, and then oh, those are his stats. Oh my god, this guy's the GOAT. He can shoot threes anywhere on the court or whatever. People want to see the outliers of like skills or hobbies. Like it's just cool to watch. People want to see that because it's not a common thing every day. So, yeah.
Because they're pretty similar, if I do say so myself. But to really understand this, we gotta go all the way back to 2018, the Fortnite boom. Before Fortnite was this cringe cash grab that pretty much just preyed on little kids for money, it was a game that...
Is Fortnite still cringe? I mean, I feel like they've been around for so long that they have withstood that phase. I mean, I don't play Fortnite because... I don't know, I just don't. I never gave it a shot. I mean, I know they got like no build and shit now, but is it still cringe? They have like literally every character to every IP almost that I can think of, and they're in Fortnite.
Nobody truly knew how to play, and everyone had fun with it. I mean, back in 2018, every single human being was talking about Fortnite. I mean, back then, you had Fortnite meme pages. Every single human being was posting their wins. People were doing emotes IRL.
Fortnite move!
Oh my god.
Do it again. Fortnite move!
Bro, if I was like the parents of this little kid, I'd put this little kid in like gymnastics or something, dude.
I mean, that's how we got the infamous ninja clip.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this one. I saw this. Literally nobody else dancing. I don't see enough movement.
I'm not seeing enough movement. Oh my god.
And since Fortnite was so popular, one thing that also became popular because of Fortnite was streaming. Back then, Twitch was like pretty niche, but I'd say that Fortnite made Twitch more mainstream. And you may be asking, why did people go to Twitch and not YouTube? Well, the thing about...
Well, Twitch was more already well established at that time. Like the layout was better, the UI was easier to understand. If you wanted to see like what was the cool place to be, Twitch sorted by what was it, viewers high to low, so the most popular channels would like automatically show up at the top. They had their little front page thing. Yeah, and YouTube did have like a little live section, but it was like kind of, it wasn't as easy to understand like how to get to or how to like browse as easily.
About YouTube is that a lot of YouTube videos are edited, and some people, they may be good on YouTube, but it's like on Twitch is live, Twitch is raw, so if you lose, like people are gonna see you lose, and if you win, people are gonna see you win. And that's why Twitch was so popular, because you could see high level gameplay in real time. To determine if somebody was truly good, all you had to do was just watch them on Twitch. And with Twitch becoming so popular, some streamers that a bunch of people were watching back then was people like Myth, Ninja, Dr. Lupo, Nick Merckx. The whole Ninja versus Myth argument was like the biggest topic in school. I remember I was back in like freaking 10th grade and we were arguing at lunch tables talking about if Myth or Ninja was better. I'm not gonna lie, back then I was team Myth. But with all those popular streamers and pro players being in the limelight, that made more people want to be a pro player / streamer. I mean, did y'all see how some of these Fortnite teams were getting down? Bro, I'm telling you, if I had to crank a few 90s to be a freaking Fortnite pro back then, I probably would. And that's exactly where the downfall of gaming happened. Everyone's
really at peak Fortnite is when the downfall of gaming happened. So I'll give you this. I'll say, because I think a lot of the examples in this video are going to be catered or are going to be used under the guise of like shooting games. And maybe not so much. Maybe you'll touch on it of like, maybe you'll touch on like single player games and like adventure games and just games that have nothing to do with multiplayer. I think there is like a little bit of a difference.
Started focusing on the money you can make from gaming rather than the fun from gaming. Fortnite used to be this game where you try to win by doing these creative strats like building a sky base, building a huge metal base, or maybe even camping in a bush. But then it turned into this huge sweat fest when people—
Oh my god, did you see that bottom? All right, let me go back a little bit. That was so funny.
Base, building a huge metal base,
right
or
down
maybe
here.
even camping in a bush. But then it turned into this huge sweat fest.
What the fuck? Like, what is this? Like, wait, and is this guy, is he lefty playing a left-handed, or is the camera just like flipped? like mirrored.
when people saw that you could make abnormal amounts of money from this game. Back then, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
shot at a dude, they would probably
I mean, yeah, you could easily see that people were making money, but what you couldn't see is the ridiculously small percentage of people making money. Yeah, that's what you didn't see.
start shooting at you back like they wouldn't even build. But now, if you shoot at somebody in Fortnite, they're building a whole freaking skyscraper hotel with Wi-Fi. It's actually wild. Now, let me say this right now. I do also say that that's kind of just time. Like, with time,
Yeah.
people get better. But my point is that
Yeah, I think this is a true thing that happens in every FPS. I mean, most notably, like, look at Quake. People have been playing Quake since the dawn of time, and the skill gap in just the Quake audience period is massive. It's huge. It's a movement shooter. It's crazy. Like, I have like a couple hours in Quake. Was it Quake Champs I played? I didn't even understand the game loop of Quake. I didn't know what the good guns are. I mean, I just dabbled in like pubs and whatever, but I didn't understand the game loop of, like, the game is, like, at least the esports scene is centered around like 1v1s. You run around the map, collect resources, and then you get your favorite gun, either like a track gun or like a flick gun. And then you just, like, you're trying to essentially, in every FPS, you're trying to predict where the person's going to be, and hopefully they walk in your crosshair, you get a little pop on them, then you push them, and so on and so forth. So I didn't even understand that. That took me a while, because I was just like playing the game casual, turn my brain off. And then I started like consuming a little bit of Quake content, and I saw like what the game looked like at the upper echelon and like the tournaments and shit, and it's like night and day. It's crazy. So yes, I would say I would agree with you. Like, as time goes on, the hardcore audience just, it happens with every game. It just gets better, and also I would say it gets smaller.
everyone's playing games to be the best rather than to just have fun with their boys. Everyone is playing to be watched on Twitch or watched on YouTube. I mean, you ever play a game and you get killed by somebody with a TTV gamer tag, and
Yeah,
you go to their Twitch
all the
and they're
time.
not streaming at all, they're just sweating just to sweat. Like, everyone is just playing for that top spot, because in that top spot you can make content out of it, and with that content comes a whole lot of money. Unless you're playing like Farming Simulator and you're a pro, I don't really think you make a lot of
What?
money.
There are such things as Farming Simulator pros? Bro, that's crazy. I had no idea. Is this an actual match? There's no way. This is fake.
From like Pro Farming Simulator, but I don't know. I might become a Farming Simulator pro. You never know. Bars. But yeah, everyone's pretty much playing to be watched. I remember back then,
Yeah.
games wouldn't really get sweaty until like 2 or 3 weeks after release. But now,
Yeah.
games are sweaty off the rip. It can be
Oh, yeah, because I would say enough, like, gaming has been around for like, what, 30, 40 years-ish, and enough people have established themselves to be like a name in the field of gaming, or an authority in the the genre of like streaming and content creation and all that jazz. And then what happens is the developers, for their new, let's just go with the flow and say FPS, they hire out a bunch of like FPS content creators to see if their FPS could be fun to play. Is it gonna have like a decent esports scene? Is there gonna be a lot of content in terms of like skins and like battle passes and like long-term replayability and all these things? And enough people get to play the game before it's even released. They play the game in like the beta, and then if the dev, like, look at the finals, like, there are a ton of people playing that game in the beta mode and making content out of the beta mode, or not mode, the beta version of the game, and releasing it. And so you get really good playing the beta, or like maybe it's a closed beta or an invite only beta. So then by the time the game releases, the people that were playing the beta already have a huge, massive advantage in that they already know the gameplay loop. They already have like a kind of predicted meta. I mean, they understand the maps, the flow, the damage numbers, and whatnot, the time to kill. And so that puts them ahead of everybody else. And so, like, as time goes on, the guys that were playing the beta, they just get better and better and better, and they're just at the top for the rest of time. Essentially, like, if you're not playing the beta and you're not gambling on whether or not you think an FPS game is going to be good, I mean, it's just like a huge risk, essentially. Like, if you're not in the beta and you don't have an established name, it's like, why are you playing, essentially?
5 days away from Call of Duty coming out, and you already got a dude making a video saying best class setup 2023
Yeah.
MW3, and it's like, bro, the game hasn't even released. It can be 2 weeks before
Oh,
2K
yeah.
comes out,
Yep.
and the dude already has the best build. It makes no sense. And when the
Yeah.
game comes out, people are only going to play the meta, because when you only play the meta, you can win more, and when you win more, you can get
yeah.
up to that top rank, and when you get up to that top rank, you can stream, create content from it, more people are going to watch you because
True.
you're up high on the leaderboards, and then the cycle just continues and continues and continues. And now everyone's just playing the same because everyone's just trying to be the best to be able to stream it / be watched. Back then, you would play games for the fun because there was really no money involved. But
Yeah.
now it's like every single human being is trying to become the top streamer, and it's like, bro, like, where's the fun in that? Back then,
Well, I mean, let's be real. Having money and making a lot of money is fun, but at the expense of, I don't know, like, I think a lot of the top streamers try to not think about, like, their actions and their effects on the audience. I mean, that's too much to think about. It's too much stress, really. It's just like, I don't know. I kind of feel this way about like fitness influencers or like fake natties or people that just don't talk about the steroids that they're doing, and they just go about their business and like they just talk about how you work out, how many sets, how many reps, the type of moves they like, the tempo that they do, and so on and so forth. But they just neglect the fact that they're a little reluctant to talk about all the PEDs that they're doing. I mean, it's kind of like that. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong though.
gaming tournaments were giving out speckles. I'm telling you, if you won
Yeah.
a gaming tournament for like freaking Mortal Kombat or Halo or something like that, you were probably going to get 50 cents in a Big Mac. But now, if you win a freaking Fortnite tournament or you just win a freaking Call of Duty tournament, dog, you're honestly set. You can buy your mom a freaking mansion. People are getting millions from tournaments. I mean, look at Booga, bro. Didn't he won like 3 million, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
of Fortnite? That is wild. That is insane money. Another thing about gaming after streaming is that games that aren't even sweaty are becoming sweaty. For example, Fall Guys.
Fall Guys. Yep. I was just about to say Fall Guys. I can't imagine. I never would have thought Fall Guys would have been as sweaty as it is, because it's like it's essentially like a BR of just mini games. And for me to like just go over on Twitch and just say like everybody like in their title, like I got like 300 wins lifetime total, like when the game was just like getting released, and it's like I got 500 wins, I got 1,000 wins. It's like, oh, let's watch the guy with all the 1,000 wins. He knows the metas of all the mini games and all this other shit. It's just like, dude, it's a party game. It's crazy, man.
I remember back in 2020, every single human being was playing Fall Guys during quarantine. And with everybody playing Fall Guys, TikTok got a hold of that. And I remember scrolling through TikTok one day, and I saw this one dude making videos of the best strats on certain maps on Fall Guys. And I just thought to myself, what do you gain from being a sweat in Fall Guys? What do
You get exactly what that guy got. You get the clicks. People want to see what the meta is, especially in a game that didn't really think about its defined meta. This guy just came up with some video and he's like, I'm going to make a meta about this, the best route. And he took a chance at it. Maybe people liked it. Maybe people weren't going to like it. But as it turns out, people liked it. He got the clicks.
gain. Like, I understand you're trying to show people how to win and stuff, but I feel like the reason why Fall Guys was so fun was because nobody was making.
I mean, nobody really is making videos about how to lose, though. I mean, where's that market?
Strats or anything. People were just hopping in, having fun, just playing like headless chickens, you know? I feel like games die out quicker when you're making all these strats and stuff on how to win, when it's not even like, obviously, yes, the goal in Fall Guys is to win, but I feel like the whole point of that game is to enjoy the journey. Like the fun with friends, the freaking hurdles you're going over, that one dude griefing you on the map. Like when you're only focused on trying to get crowns in that game, the game becomes less fun because you're just focused on the destination rather than the journey.
I mean, but everybody plays video games for their own reasons. Like if I'm a casual in Fall Guys, I'm just playing the game to just turn my mind off, relax, enjoy the colors, like maybe grief some people and just mess around. And that could be fun for me. But to some other people, and I will say it is probably a lot less people, what's fun to them is collecting the crowns, like the wins, just day in, day out. Today I got 20 wins. Today I got 30, 40, 50 wins. I'm a winning machine. It's like, that's fun to that person. So it's kind of hard to figure out or to try to like maybe judge people on your type of fun is good, but your type of fun is not good. I don't know.
Imagine coming home from a long day of school or work and you're getting sweated on in Fall Guys. Imagine you're over there just trying to chill, you know, you're on this little cutesy game that's like Wipeout, and out of nowhere, TTV Try Hard for Life literally just claps you every single map. And it's like, dude, you can't even have fun anymore. And since everyone's tryharding, games are now catering to the bad players. One thing that games have been implementing.
Bro, that is the truest of true. Bro, recently, I think... What did Overwatch 2 just update? They did a big update, or not a big update, but an update. And what they did was they increased the projectile size of everybody's weapons. So I was seeing all these goofy clips of people, like let's say you're the target or whatever, and it's like the projectile size was so big you could aim like over here and get headshots. I was like, what? That is fucking crazy. Like the people just putting a reticle, and what was even funnier is like somebody somebody from Valorant they posted a Twitter clip and they perfectly like shot bullets around a person as close as it could go to show like how accurate the projectiles were. Trying to flex on the Overwatch players. Oh my god, I was dying.
Implementing is this thing called skill-based matchmaking. If you don't know what it is, well, I'll basically explain. Think of a lobby where all the top players from a bunch of different games all get into a lobby with each other and go head to head. Basically ranked play, but with no bonus rewards or anything. You just kind of get into a lobby with the best players without getting any specific reward in casual play. And the thing about skill-based
nobody really wants that. Like, come on. But I mean, it's either skill-based matchmaking or all random all the time. And what happens in those lobbies is what we've seen in the past, because there was a time before skill-based matchmaking and engagement-based matchmaking, or not engagement-based, engagement-optimized matchmaking, where like the old Call of Duty lobbies, where you could like pop off and get like 200 kills and 0 deaths in those lobbies, and you know the moment fucking chopper gunners spawned in. Or the moment somebody got a Harrier, they would just leave the lobby. The moment somebody got a chopper gunner, they just leave the lobby. And then what happens is that lobby is still active, and the game would need to figure out, okay, we need to get players in here. So they would have new players go into that lobby, and then hello, there's a chopper gunner. Somebody already got a chopper gunner, and I'm just like, well, what the fuck? This is ridiculous. And you know what's even funny is like I played those matches and I would even make classes because I was so stubborn. I would make classes with like missile launchers or I don't know, maybe I forgot which one, but the one where like you locked on, and I would like if I spawned in a match like that would be the first class I spawned in on, and I would just start like chunking away at whatever little kill streak was in the air. I would be that guy.
matchmaking is that it's unfair because the good players are being punished for being good at the game. And it gets to this point where it's like winning feels like a chore rather than actual fun. Because back then, if you truly wanted to sweat, you would go into like a ranked game mode or something.
Yeah.
But now, if you're a tryhard, you're gonna play every single other tryhard 24/7 just because you're good at the game.
Well, not really. If you're like above average at a game, you want to at least keep that appearance of appearing above average in the game. So what you do is you go play pubs and you go make montages where you go like 70, 80, 90 and 0. And yeah, I mean, using Call of Duty as an example is not really good because I used to like Call of Duty and I've just stopped. Like Call of Duty is just bad.
Back then, games like Call of Duty, what they would do, you would join a lobby, and if you wanted to leave that lobby, you would just leave it, and if you wanted to stay after the game, you would stay. But now, after a game is finished, they just transport you to a whole different lobby with everyone else who also did good, and it's like, now you gotta go head to head with all the big dogs just because you won one game. I remember Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, that had some of the worst skill-based matchmaking ever. That game was borderline unplayable, because if you won one game, you would be playing the freaking optic roster from freaking 2014 just from winning one game. And another way of games catering to bad players, Fortnite adding bots into their games just so you can feel better about yourself. Let's be real, it is 2023. Nobody is a default anymore in Fortnite. I mean, back then, yes, there were people who were bad at the game, but nobody is so bad that they're literally running into a wall 24/7 in Fortnite. So now,
I mean, there are always going to be new players picking the game up, but I do believe that they should be in those what do you call it, like the protected lobbies where it's like from level, like if you have an account and your account starts at 0, from like maybe like level 1 to 20 or like 1 to 50 in some cases, or whatever, just pick like a number, like until a certain point you will get those lobbies, because the general population of players in most FPS games are just better than they were like 10, 15, 20 years ago. They just were.
now it's like there's no middle ground between the good and the bad players. It's like if you're good, you're being punished, and if you're bad, you're being rewarded. There's actually this tweet by FaZe Sway that says, "The downfall of video games started when kids complained about people being good at the game. I remember when I was a kid and saw a Master Prestige in COD, I didn't tell him to take a shower or go outside. I sent that MF a friend request." And that
that has happened to me like a couple times, but then again, alternatively, I've received a lot of like hate messages on like Xbox, like back in the day, like, "Oh, you suck, you're trash at the game. You played every Call of Duty game and you still suck at the game. Jesus Christ, what are you doing with your life?" Blah 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 blah. And yeah, and back then people were more willing to accept friend requests before that whole meme of, "Oh, you got like a message from this guy." You open the message and it's just like some dude like yelling and breathing in his mic, like saying slurs and all this like dumb shit. It's like, once that got like out of hand, people didn't even like receive messages anymore. It's just like global mute, do not accept any messages. And it's like, it just further segmented the social aspect of a lot of these games as well.
That's facts. Instead of actually putting in the work to be good, a lot of people just sit there and complain, and now games are kind of catering to them. But one game that I say that kind of bridged the middle ground between the really good players and the really bad players is Street Fighter 6. One thing that Street Fighter 6 did, they added something called modern controls and classic controls. Classic controls, basically you have to do more to push out a combo, and if you do that successfully, then that combo does more damage. But if you play modern controls, you only hit square or something, and it'll...
Oh yeah, I did watch a video about this, and it was like, these people, like the modern controls and the classic controls, go through the same lobby, or just like they're organized in like the same space. But I watched a video about like modern versus classic controls, and the essentially like the premise of the video was like, just keep the controls separate. Because it shouldn't, like, a player that uses modern controls should not be going up against a player using classic controls, because it's easier to execute a combo. Much the same way of like M and K and like controller should not be playing together in at least a tournament setting. Like for the most part, like if you want to do pubs and do like M and K versus roller, I mean that's fine. Even to some degree, like you could make the argument of like crossplay with like M and K and roller is even acceptable in like ranked play. But I don't know. I would probably choose to like separate the lobbies even. But I think this is just again another thing that was just inevitable to happen, at least with fighting games, or at least fighting games that use what do you call it? Like the Dragon Ball or not Dragon Ball, Fireball motions and like the Shoryu motions, like all the movement or not movement motion inputs.
Do a full combo.
It was just
and
inevitable.
Those combos do less damage, so it kind of bridges the gap between good and bad players. But that's
Yeah, much the same way about with controller versus M and K.
the whole fighting game. How can this be fixed in like games that are like FPS or something like that? In my honest opinion, I say that FPS games should just go back to like the regular lobbies, you know? Back then, you could join a lobby.
FPS should just go back to the regular lobbies. I don't know. Like conceptually, I would agree with you, but and it like because nobody's really complaining about ranked play being really hard. It's like it's ranked play. It's supposed to be hard. People are essentially complaining that pubs are too hard because the really good people, or maybe not even like the really good people, like the people that are in like the top, I don't know, 20th percentile or 30th percentile, because they can't compete against that top 10% or top 5% or top 1%, they will just go down and chill at like the 50th percentile and just do pubs and try to create content like just murking like little kids. Well, not little kids, but like whoever's at that rank down there.
Scope out the lobby, see who's like the freaking best players and stuff. And if they were a little too good for your level, you could leave if you wanted to. Like, I don't think that you should be transported into the freaking universe of the top 12 Call of Duty masters after you win one game. I feel like there should always be that option to stay if you want to stay or leave if you want to leave. There was nothing.
Yeah, but if given the option, the good players will always just stay. Like, the good players will. Oh, you're talking about the lobbies. I thought you were talking about like go to the next match at like the increased MMR rating or whatever for like the whatever your FPS is in pubs. You probably still have like an invisible MMR that the devs aren't telling you, but it's still there. It could be like just light SBMM, and yeah, like honestly this only matters for like I said, the top 10% of people that want to like try to get to that like tournament level, go to the LAN, go to the tournament and all this shit and prove that they're better. Those people are the ones that will accept like the same lobby, maybe not the same lobby, but like the increased skill lobby. But the people that are maybe like in the top maybe 20th percentile, I would venture to say that those guys, it's like, oh, do you want to go and fight someone harder? That was kind of a sweaty one that took a lot of effort. I kind of want to just chill and go down to like the 50th percentile, maybe the 40th percentile, or to like maybe the 70th percentile. That's too hard. I just want to chill and go do some of those easy matches. I need a break. That's what I think.
Wrong with those lobbies back then. It's just like games just wanted to cater to the bad players, you know? So it's honestly just like gaming is just honestly a huge sweat fest. And that rounds back to like the ultimate question of this video. Did streamers really ruin gaming? In my honest opinion, yes. I 1000% believe that streamers in esports ruined gaming. Because there is no reason why people should be sweating at a game where you literally farm cabbages. How do you even sweat in Farming Simulator?
Bro, that is I am just learning that there is a professional scene for Farming Simulator right now. That's what I'm learning. Oh my god. That's crazy, dude. I mean, but to be fair, there is also a competitive scene in a lot of just single player games. It's called speedrunning. So I think it's kind of an inevitability for all games to be sweaty. It just happens that we have access to the internet and social media, and people can post what they're doing and share it with the world now, as opposed to back in the day, we didn't have internet. So, I mean, single player games can be sweaty. You gotta, in like all the Dark Souls games and whatnot, like from software. Oh, what's the best weapon? What's the best build? Is it Blasphemous Blade? How do I get Blasphemous Blade? Is it using the halabardos? Do I get the dual blade halabardos and all this jazz? Let me use the magic. Let me use the spirits and so on and so forth. Let me use the summons. So literally every game can be meted the fuck out of.
How? Let me know in the comments. Do y'all think streamers / pro players ruin gaming? Or like, what's your guys' take on this whole situation? Let me know. But yeah, this is going to wrap up the video. If you guys made this far, I appreciate you. If you guys enjoyed this video, then I highly recommend you guys check out my most recent video where I talk about why everyone hates prank channels. But yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. It's Cameron, and I'm out.
Nice. Oh, that was cool. That was nice. I'm a fan. But yeah, I mean, to some degree, I think streamers just sped up the quote unquote ruining of games. I mean, I think it was just going to be inevitable to begin with. I mean, look at, or like any hobby really. Like look at real sports. If you think about sports, there are tons of YouTube videos on how to do better at this sport. Look at these soccer drills I do. Look at how I become ambidextrous in basketball and can dribble with two hands from doing these couple drills every day. Like, real sports can get meted the fuck out of as well. So, I don't know. There's probably like a little bit of like relationship between that, I think. But no, I thought this was a cool video. But yeah, I'm a fan now, and I want to see more. So until the next one, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.